Peace and grand rising to the sovereign, original, indigenous, natural, divine heirs. Today is February the 9th, 1442 on the ancient moon calendar, 1443 on the ancient sun calendar, and 2023 on the Greco-Roman civil calendar. All rise and stand and remain standing into perpetuity. This is a sovereign living ancient, Article 3. Moorish American Al-Moroccan Universal Court Action. We are the sovereign living justice. I am Pauline Denise Ritchie. My free chosen sovereign appellation is Light to Jury Bay. All are in capitis diminutio nolo, in red ink, in propria persona sui juris, in proprio solo, and in proprio heredes. All Moors are the original indigenous, sovereign, ancient Al-Moroccan, Moorish American ascendants of the great pharaohs of Kemet and of the ancient Moabites and Canaanites. Our full faith and trust, our allegiance, our credit, and our energy are hereby vested in ourselves, for we are the people who are the original indigenous, natural, divine, sovereign, ancient empire state for Morocco. We're the de jure Moorish National Republic federal government. We are ancient Washington District for Columbia. We're the Universal Moorish American Consulate and the Article 3 Moorish American Consular Court. Today, we are executing and exercising the law by our sovereign capacity, which is the original indigenous, natural, divine, sovereign, ancient Article 3, living United States District for Columbia Court, and we are the sovereign fiduciaries, the creditors, ancient secured creditors, executors, trustees, ministers, possessors, and titled beneficiaries in this cause for action. We are peace. We are one state, one nation, one empire, and one God. We hereby accept our sovereign ascension and issue a universal creditor's bill for possession and custody over all judgment debtors. We exercise all sovereign rights at this time and at all points in time, non-pro-tunc. So before we get into what we're going to be discussing, I just want to say that the great stand down has taken place on the public record. That occurred on February the 7th. It is an enactment by the subjects. I'll put the link to that so that you can watch it in the chat. What they did was they enacted reading the Constitution on the public record, and on their theatrical Congressional floor. And then at the end, they said that they were going to enact putting edits in there. And so as they were reading the parts about, you know, consuls and ambassadors and things like that, people began to walk out. And then they came back in to finish up the reading. So it was quite entertaining, as their theater generally is, but we take our Constitution seriously, which is not the same as their Constitution. So what I took from that is that we will be reading our Constitution in its entirety as soon as we're done editing it this iteration. So whenever that is, we will go ahead, and it will be before, we'll do it in the next few weeks. Make sure that all of our edits are placed on the public record. We put some of them on the public record a couple of weeks back, and we will continue to do that as we see fit as the Congress. So with that being stated, Justice Howard, in fact, let me put the meeting. Just one moment. Just a moment. Let me make sure that the floor is the table is clear. Okay. Justice Howard, if you would feel free to unmute. He has a poem, another amazing poem that he wanted to share with us, and so we would love to open with that.
Islam. To all the Moors, rise. This is called Rise of the Patriarchs. The first poem was to the matriarchs.
Yes, Islam.
Ark. This is a command from my mother's brothers. This is a command, brothers. From shoulder to shoulder, you're the sons of their mothers. Stand tall, y'all. Then she said, listen, we breaking out of hell. Yes, we fell, but despair. Unchain ourselves from the spell. Wow, we learned how to send free mail. Breaking the spell, send free mail. We heard the call. We would never
what a
fall.
fucking ghetto-ass Negro,
So
ghetto-ass poem, ghetto-ass Negro.
Just one moment. Go ahead, Nobility.
We heard the call. We would never fall, so stand tall. Stand tall. We would never fall. Islam. Hey, listen. We reading 33rd Psalms with power coming from our palms. Salam, Islam.
I put a ring on you.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Very beautiful. Thank you, Nobility. We appreciate that. Your energy is amazing. That's beautiful. Rise of the Patriarchs.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Indeed.
Can you let us in on the computer, please?
Yes, Islam. We can hear you, Empress.
Thank you, brother.
Okay.
Islam, gratitude.
Islam. Okay, with that being stated, as we fully emerge, Islam, Empress.
Proceed.
Yes.
I just wanted to make a comment. We were talking about the great stand down.
Yes.
When the president of Ukraine was here, I noticed that one of the so-called congresswoman, de facto congresswoman, had her hands over her head and she was making the pyramid sign, but she was showing it up, and she made an effort to make sure the whole room saw what sign that she was making. So I took it as a sign that she was telling everyone that we have risen and we are here, and we're back in place.
Yeah,
Islam.
they're all actors, and including the ones that you've mentioned. They're all actors, but their job is to just watch the Moors and then signal to the rest of the world what's going on with the Moors. So that's beautiful, beautiful. They're doing everything they can to do as commanded in terms of letting everyone know what time it is and what's going on with us. That is their job, to watch and to announce.
Islam, can I get in on the computer, please?
Yes, Empress. It's unlocked, Empress.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Islam. Okay, so as we fully emerge, our number one priority is expanding the ancient Al-Moroccan Empire. Today, we are going to reveal why we terminated all corporate contracts with the foreign fraudulent attempt at subrogation by the dead United States Corporation Company, and why we always and only use our own tools. All actions that we do are orderly, peaceful, lawful, and legal. Recording of all financial actions is mandatory, and actually all actions, period, are to be recorded. That's because we are the courts of record. We are the Article 3 records courts. So everything that we do, we record it. When we use either our all capitalized tools or we use tools in capitis, diminutio, minima, we only use our tools and never any other person's. In other words, if anything is written by anyone else that has an all caps name on it, we don't accept that. We restate everything and we rebut everything. Empress Shasha, are you in? Have you made it in? I believe Empress Shasha's trying to get in as well. Just one moment. I believe that's her. I hope that's her.
Islam, Donis Bay.
Islam, welcome, nobility. Hopefully, I believe she is in.
Farmingdale, New York is most likely the, actor.
Okay. Just one moment. I want to make sure those who are wanting to come in can do so. Empress Shasha, have you made it in? I'm hoping she has. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you. I'm fine.
Thank you.
Oh, great. Yes, Islam. Thank you. So glad.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
Islam. Okay. All right. I believe that's everyone. Okay. So, having stated that we do not accept any man's person, we create our own. We have done all of the necessary, all that was necessary to do in order to demonstrate financial competence, whereby our banking system is now grandmothered over, and it never left its position. We're just stating this on the public record. Grandmothered over all existing banking and financial systems. We are projecting that on and after March 21st, 2023, we will be using our gold-backed banking systems to purchase conveyances that are pre-1971, as they were purchased with legal and lawful money. The conveyances are, quote-unquote, registered first with our Article 3 courts, and notification of the issuing of a historic tag or an AA, which stands for antique auto, in this case, tag, is then sent to the Just So Lay Americans in our office of county court clerk. Okay, so there are many conveyances that never stopped working in brand new condition that are pre-1971 when the technology was real. There are many, there's been so many who've been holding those for us. And we did a little study on historic conveyance tags, which is something that was no longer being issued. They were issuing antique auto tags, but not historic auto tags. Which at one time when we were doing what we did in terms of being ourselves and traveling on our land, historic tags were being issued for our conveyances. Now, the issuance of a historic tag actually comes from us first. We create the tag, okay, and then we notify that this is a historic tag. We did a little study on that and came across some information that let us know, and I'll put the link to this in the chat. And this is, historic tags are for all lands, so everywhere, everywhere on our land, UK, the islands, etc. These historic tags for the conveyances, again, we create them, and whenever a historic tag is issued, there is no year, quote unquote, on there unless you want to put the year that the conveyance was manufactured. Any conveyance manufactured prior to 1971, and many of them still work. And when I say still work, that's an understatement. The conveyances that they've been making up to now, we can get those too, so that's not an issue as well. But we don't really, I don't know that we really want them, just because of all of the issues that they've been having with them. So the historic conveyances, for example, and I'll just use the Model T as an example in terms of mechanical durability. Model Ts never stop working because they're so simply made. Okay, but what we're doing is we're going now back so that we can enhance the technology, taking it back to its most simple form, and then saying, okay, let's start here, and then we'll make it so that, because we already know that there are conveyances out there that don't even need gas. They run off water, or they don't need any fluids because of the way they're made. And then as we continue to, again, stand and continue to govern, everything is going to get better and better and better and better for us. But I wanted to put this out onto the record so that you all are aware of where we're going, okay? Because where we're going, when we put things on the public record to state where we're going, it kind of gives us all something to look at, and then let the ancient wheels turn on how we deal with whatever it is that's coming up. Okay? Islam Empress.
Well, when you said 1971, I said, huh? But then I did. But then I Googled it, right?
Uh-huh.
And the first thing that came up, because I said 1971. So it says top cars of 1971, and it says the National.
Of course.
So top cars: Maserati, Bora, De Tomasa Patera. I never heard of that one before. Volvo, Jaguar, and the Labart. I don't know how to say it. Starts with an L. Anyway, Lamborghini. Yeah, that's what it is. A Lamborghini. Silly me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so those are the top 5 cars of 1971.
Yes. So there were many. Rolls Royce is another one. There are
my car. I knew when I was a baby I was going to have one.
Yeah, there are many, many, many of them that pre-1971, and can anyone just hazard why 1971?
Well, it was made with raw materials from the earth.
Yes, it was. Yep, exactly. Commodities were used, and that's why they lasted so long. And so what happened is the corporates just told everyone, you have to stop driving them. They're not street legal anymore. That's what they told them in order to get them off the road, to get the technology, so that they could then, and I'm so grateful for Justice Sage Bay for this term that he continues to put forth. After that time period, they began doing something called planned obsolescence of the technology to keep people buying things. They would say, okay, we can make a car, but that car it needs to break down in like 3 or 4 years so that they'll buy another one. So they would manufacture planned obsolescence in all of the things that they did. And so we're seeing that firsthand with regard to even the demonstrations that we've done, is there was planned obsolescence. They knew that after a while the Moors are going to wake up and know. Now, the situation with the pre-1971, that is also true for domiciles. Domiciles made before 1971, our gold-backed money is absolutely 100% valid for any of that. Okay? So what we're doing is, just one moment, because what we're going to do is make sure that there's no, you can have a valid question, but it won't be made personal in here. So any domiciles, anything that's made before 1971, we can use our money to get those things. Okay. So with that being stated, and then the pre-1971 is also making it so that our banking system is married up with, and when we say married, we don't mean like foreign married. We're marrying our own kind because there's no corruption of blood in all of this. Marrying with the system that our ancestors had in place already. So, and the further back you go, especially with domiciles, every domicile that was ever made before 1971, or it stands unless we specifically allowed it to be demolished. Okay, so the materials that were used were materials that came from the earth, and they last the longest. So let's just use the Capitol buildings for an example of that. You can look and see that our buildings last for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And so those are the properties and the conveyances and things that we're looking at, because that matches our economic power. There's no amount of fiat that can even afford those things these days. They can't afford the domiciles that are built into the side of a mountain. You know, they can't afford any of that because their money's not, their quote unquote fiat, and it's not, because it's not real money, it can't afford that, you know. So that made plenty of room for our the economic manifestation of our, you know, all the things that we do. Yes, Justice Dawood put in the chat, President, and that's not really who that is. The actor who, Richard Nixon, acted in 1971 to end dollar convertibility, quote unquote, to gold and implement wage price controls were intended to address the international dilemma of a looming gold run and the domestic problem of inflation. August 13th, 1971, yes. Between the 13th and the 15th of August, 1971. Yes, indeed. There's some things coming up in the. Please let Justice Akil know he can come in, please. We've unlocked the meeting for him. So those are the things we're going to be looking at for our economic, to continue to stand economically. Those things are now. The documentation is going to be important as we move forth in this economic manifestation. Documentation is going to be important. Okay, there's plenty for all of us, so there's no need to, we're good on. There's plenty for everyone. With that being stated, domiciles that will be included in our banking system are those that were standing before, and we said 1933, but we could put 1971 here too. Those who desire housing most immediately can use the following emergency housing program for domiciles of all year models. Okay, so in other words, those from that are newer than that are not historic in nature. And we can also look on the National Register of Historic Places for domiciles. And then we want to encourage and suggest that you limit, because we've already claimed that whole list for our nation, and so that we make it so that we do one domicile at a time, just so that everyone can all of the heirs can have what it is that they are desiring, and then we'll go from there, because at some point we're going to begin building our own, using the commodities and things of that nature. So the emergency housing program for domiciles of all year models, to include new domiciles, are also this process that the Empresses are going to present today, the emergency housing program. We want to thank Empresses Karima, Empress Shasha, Empress Angel, Empress Rosetta, and any of the nobles who attended as well. And nationality is the order for the day. Okay, so again, the domiciles and things, there's nothing we cannot have on our land. We do want to go for the national things first, the things that are on the national list of historic homes and things like that. So, and most likely, when we as we move forward, again, we're not in any rush. There's no rush. We can just move forward, because those places are not inhabited at this time. They're just being cared for until we, as we move forth with what we're doing. So there's enough for everyone. There's enough for all of us, way more than enough. So we just want to, that is how the use of dollarium, Moorish sovereign dollarium, that's how that works. And Swiss francs, that's how that works. Everything is already in the public laws. All we have to do is reconstruct and restate everything that we're talking about right now. Okay, so if you want to Google homes that are on the National Registry, the National Historic Registry, you can do that and just look, and see, and preferably ones at your territories. But hey, we know this, that even the ones at France, at other places. There are palaces, there are castles, there are homes that have been cared for. I'll give you an example of one. One would be the Biltmore at North Carolina Territory. That is a place, a National Historic Registry, and it won't be for just one of us. It will be for many of us to go there, and maybe there'll be some specific erudition that we'll be doing at different places. And again, we're just looking at what's before us and taking it step by step, day by day. We've got time. We're going to keep moving forward, okay? But we can see that everything that we had stated previously is indeed. Yes, we'll have to use that. Thank you, Justice Dawood, for putting the National Register. So whenever you see the word national, all it takes is for us to restate, reconstruct, reform. And so I want to yield the floor to the Empresses for the emergency housing process. And I'm hoping I did not forget any, because I was not in attendance at the meeting. So if for those who were present at the meeting and who are ready to present the emergency housing process, please *6. The Great Grand Rising is now. And again, for newer domiciles, this process works just as well, Islam. So whoever has the documentation, and I can share the screen with whoever has that, Empress Rosetta, Empress Angel, either one of you, whoever wants to present, and preferably all of you who were at the meeting and who did, Empress Shasha, Empress
So what's
Karima,
your excuse going to be
Islam.
when none of this works? What?
Let's see.
Islam. He, the call is still open.
Okay. Thank you, Empress. Now, here, I just want to point out in the chat, they put National Register of Historic Places. This is a program of the National Park Service. That's why we have to restate it. It's a national program, but it's a program and not a service. So when we restate things and call it what it really is, which is a program, then we use our exchange methods and our economic power and authority to properly claim and proclaim Islam. Empress Angel.
So again, what you gonna do? What's your excuse when it doesn't work?
You all want to, Empress
Islam,
Angel?
yes, I'll share the screen with you.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Empress. Say again.
Oh yes, if you can allow me to share the screen.
Sure. Let's see. Okay. Just one moment.
Why do you need this when you did a moratorium on evictions,
on for
Pauline?
just a
You
moment.
voted on a moratorium on evictions. Why do you need to do this? You know it's not going to work, you stupid cunt.
Just a moment. Oops. Okay. I think I can do it from here. Empress Angel, switch presenter. Let me know when you see the prompt, Empress Angel.
Okay.
Switch presenter. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I see it. It says only the okay, shared desktop. Okay, I got it.
No reason for any of this when you can't be evicted according to Pauline. She commanded you can't be evicted. She commanded it. It's true. All her commands work. Don't you know that?
There you go.
Should I wait to take control? Okay.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Make this bigger. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can. Morris, can you see the screen?
Indeed.
Yes,
Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Very good. All right. So, this is the reworking of the Domicile Public Works Entitlement Command. So, as it reads, Section 8, Domiciliary National Works Entitlement and Prepaid Program, Domiciling and Housing National Voucher Program, United States Department for Domiciling and Indigenous Development Works, Office for Public Works and Indigenous Domiciling, OMB, Office Management Budget, I think that's what it stands for. Approval number 2577 plus 0169, reconstructed time immemorial.
Okay, so Empress, instead of reading the entire document, can you point out some of the things that you noticed about the document and read whatever parts you choose to read? Because I believe it's pretty extensive. Is that correct? How many pages is the document?
Well, let's say the first 2 or 3 pages is the main of it, and then the other pages is like the explanatory statements of what was already done up top. So yeah, so it's not that monstrous. So do this. Okay, public law statement. The Department for Domiciling and National Development, and it was an abbreviated, and so we changed it and we spelled it out because we know we must spell everything out. So that's why I stated twice here. The Domicile National Development is authorized to collect information required on this affidavit for Section 8 for the United States Law for Domiciling, 1937. 42 States Code 1437F. Collection of clan, tribe, pride, and all associated national group members, appellations, names, and mailing locations, and creditor fiduciary appellation and prepaid mailing location is affirmed. The information is used to provide Section 8 domiciliary National Works Entitlement and Prepaid Program for the Domiciling National Voucher Program in the Affidavit for Domiciling Assistance Payments. The information also specifies what utilities and appliances are to be supplied by the creditor fiduciary and what utilities and appliances are to be supplied by the heirs, tenant, domicile, the tenants. Domicile National Development may disclose this information to Moorish, federal, state, and local authorities when relevant to civil, criminal, or regulatory investigations and prosecutions. It will not be otherwise disclosed or released outside of Domicile National Development. To assist in your process, participation and expedience is appreciated to expedite the process on your behalf. And most of this language had a lot of tenants and owner from their perspective. So we had to take a lot of the feudal language out. And a good brother mentioned, because we was just doing clan at this point, and he said to make it even more inclusive, clan, tribe, and pride, and all associated national group members. And then we put appellation / name, because we know that it's open for any and all people, and not everybody knows that they have an appellation when there are more. And so that was changed there. And it had unit number, and we changed that to mailing location. We added creditor fiduciary for the tenant, and we added, of course, the prepaid mailing location is affirmed, that language, because there was feudal language there. And we went ahead and agreed on domiciliary, though it is an account. I looked it up, and domiciliary is a actual bank account that is used, and all resources except Naira, or another. It was another currency, I forget, but it started with an N. Sorry, that wasn't accepted with this particular bank account. I found that interesting in my research, but so we, decided that these two words was, good for us to use to replace housing, because housing is a term, that they use as far as like in the POW camps, and so the majority did not like that word, so we opted out for that word. And so yes, and then when it came to this line here, it had language that was reading, you're mandatory to, give certain information, and if not, your application would be, disqualified, and whatever, so on and so forth. So we changed it to assist in your process, participation and expedience is appreciated to expedite on your behalf, to make it more welcoming, that people would like to participate. And so instructions for use for Section 8 Domiciliary National Works Entitlement and Prepaid Program. This affidavit for domiciling assist. Yes.
Would you? So the part that says on your behalf, that can actually be omitted simply because they're doing it for themselves. We're not doing it for them. We're introducing it and, putting it on the record as a process, but they have to do it for themselves. We can't represent them. So, yeah. So far, so good, though, Islam.
Gratitude, Islam. Okay. Instructions for use for Section 8 and Domiciliary National Works Entitlement and Prepaid Program. This affidavit for Domiciling Assistance Prepaid Program is used to provide Section 8 Domiciliary National Works Entitlement and Prepayment Program assistance within the Domiciling National Voucher Program for the United States Department for Domiciling and National Development. Domicile National Development. The main regulatory for this program is, and it felt good to add this part here, Article 1, Section 8, Article 6, Section 1 of the Constitution for America, and Article 6, Section 1 of Treaty 1836, Treaty for Peace and Friendship, Islam. The local voucher program is administered by the Moorish National Republic federal government for the public. The Domiciling Assistance Prepaid Program is an agreement between the Public Domiciling Works Program and the owner for a living structure dwelling by the fiduciary plan. The Domicile Prepaid Affidavit has 3 parts. Part 1, Affidavit Information Fill-ins.
Okay. May I interject?
Yes.
The program is being ministered by the Living United States for America. So whenever the Moorish National Republic federal government is doing anything, it's only for Moors. But
so
when
living,
yeah, the Living United States for America, and you can just remove Moorish National Republic federal government, because this is a commercial program, whereas the Moorish National Republic federal government is de jure, the de jure aspect of us, of who we are. Islam. Living is lowercase l. United States is uppercase U, uppercase S.
Okay.
For America, for the public.
Okay.
Or you could say for America, comma, the public.
Okay.
Thank you, Empress. I yield, Islam.
Gratitude for your assistance. Oh, I accept in all the yes, Islam. Very good. Okay. We have C-section, bisection instructions highlighted because we didn't know if that needed to be edited. So at one point in time, we was tabling the word tenant until, and we did come up with a better word for that. So it'll come up soon. Islam. Use of this affidavit. Use of this domicile entitlement prepaid affidavit is required by Domicile National Development. Modification of the domicile entitlement prepaid affidavit is not permitted. The domicile entitlement prepaid affidavit must be word for word. Oh, it's supposed to be plus signs. Word for word in the form prescribed by Domicile National Development. However, the Public Domicile Works Program may choose to add the following.
Islam, may I interject?
Yes.
You can take the pluses out and just leave a space, and also to say that modification is not permitted, I would take that out simply because it depends on. We're going to end up modifying it anyway along the way. Okay. Right now, we're putting it out there as an initial program, but it will be modified by us at some point. So, and we'll meet for that. Of course, we will meet for that. We'll do it the same way we're doing it now.
Okay.
Islam.
Gratitude.
We want to try and stay as far away from telling the Moors what to do, because they have to take full responsibility for whatever it is that if they modify something, they have to take responsibility for it, And then the word form, prepaid affidavit must be word for word as prescribed by Domicile National Development, and you could say that or not say it, because we're going to be our grant sheet said to just put things out there. Once you've studied it and done your due diligence, go ahead and put it out there, and then we'll clean it up as we go. Okay. And it's as clean as it can be, even when we first put it out there, just because our intentions are clean and clear. You could I almost take out word for word, because again, The domicile, you could say it's actually subject to modification. Subject to modification by the government.
Okay, so the domicile must be word for word. Oh no, that one I just took out. What did you say?
It says the domicile. It should say the domicile entitlement prepaid affidavit is subject to modification as prescribed by Domicile National Development. You could say that. Subject to modification, yeah. As prescribed by.
Okay, and get rid of.
Yeah, get rid of, that part. As prescribed by Domicile National Development. Yeah. Islam.
However,
I yield it. Mm-hmm.
No problem. However, the Public Domicile Works Program may choose to add the following. Language that prohibits the owner from collecting a security deposit in excess of private market practice or in excess of amounts charged by the fiduciary to unassisted heir tenants. Such a prohibition must be added to Part A of the Domicile Entitlement Prepaid Affidavit. Language that defines when the domicile assistance payment by the Public Domiciling Works Program is deemed received by the owner, example, upon mailing by the Public Domicile Works Program, or actual receipt by the owner. Such language must be added to Part A of Domicile Entitlement Prepaid Affidavit. Any edits? Islam? Okay. To prepare the Domicile Entitlement Prepaid Affidavit.
Islam. Did you say something?
Oh, I was asking if you had any edits. For that part.
No. But okay. I was going to say, if any of the Moors that are hearing this have any suggested edits, please speak up. Please.
Islam. Gratitude. Yes. Because I did think that during.
Yeah, Justice Akil put something in the chat.
I did think that. I said, "Oh, I can't see the chat. Let me see. Oh, there we go.
And insert a maximum. We're going to put Justice Akil. I see where you're going with that. We're putting the reason we say America is because we are just sanguineous America. I'm not sure if you saw Grand Sheikh Taj this past Friday on House of Reawakening Minds talking about that. So we're using the term America. We know that this is ancient Amexem. It's also Turtle Island. It's also the Maghrib Al-Aqsa. There are many appellations for our land. We say America because on the timeline, that's where we are. Just sanguineous Americans and just Soleil Americans. So if you have a moment and you want to take a look at what Grand Sheikh said about just sanguineous America and just Soleil America, that's why we're using that term. So, and I would encourage everyone to watch House of Reawakening Minds from this past Friday. Grand Sheikh Taj Tariq Bey talked about that. That's why we use that term. Islam, I yield.
He hit a home run on that one.
Oh, yes, he did. It was powerful, very powerful.
I was just concerned because, being as though that we've been animal husbandry all our lives. So I feel like that the terms that we use as, like when Noble Drew Ali, once he passed away, he said that half of it can't be told because now that he's passed away, it's really up to the second and third generation for us to reveal the truth on how to establish government. So you're looking at I'm thinking about the way, according to the treaties, when they allowed the Europeans to settle on our land, they gave them a name, the United States of America. So that's their name. We are Mexico.
They don't own a name. They didn't. That was the issue with them. They don't own nothing.
We gave it though. We gave them that name. We called them something.
We did.
That's what it was.
Right. We called them the United States of America. Of means without.
Right, but before it was everything before America even came along. You know what I mean?
Just a moment, please. Just a moment. Please let Justice Keel finish, please.
Because, you know, some say the name comes from, I think his name is Amago, B something, or some people say it doesn't come from this guy. But my thing is, we should stay more along the lines of who we are as the heirs of the land than taking on a term that was for the corporate. You know, it's just like here in the streets today. You know, we adopt these names like nigger or negro, like that's my nigga. And so after the corporate use those words to denationalize us, then we accept the term after that. You see where the animal husbandry come in at?
Okay, so Justice Akil, have you seen the fiduciary document that we put on the public record?
Yeah, I understand that.
Okay, now let me back that up a little bit also with what our Prophet Noble Jew Ali said. He said, keep the name because there's an estate there. Okay, and I'm paraphrasing. But then also in the Biblios Heliotech as written by the ancient Sibyls, they also said in the beginning was the Word. The Word was with us, and the Word is us. So we have worked through the programming that causes us to fear words, because what I'm hearing, it sounds like there's some fear because you think that the hybrids own a word when they don't.
Yeah, but see, I understand what you're saying, you know, according to the fiduciary documents. It seems like, you know, being able to have the power to change, you know, the font, the color, numbers, etc. It's like it has a rule of thumb. It only works for certain things, you know. So some things you feel as though, okay, that's going to slide, but then when it comes to the actual results, sometimes you have to wait or it's not going to work at all. You know,
so
using the fiduciary document, it's like saying it allows us to write in black font, and it allows us to write in the red and blue for what we want to say, for the heaven, for the commerce, and then for the corporation. So I understand it, but it seems like it only works for certain levels of things. You know what I mean? They always say there's levels to this. So I mean, if before the fiduciary documents, you know, all these documents, we didn't have to worry about these names. You know what I mean? We wasn't taught. We didn't need a Bible or a book or something to teach us how to build the pyramids. Now all of a sudden we got to go through all this. You know?
Well, my question to you then is, how did all of that work out for you? Of not going through all of this, how did that work for you?
No. I mean, I'd rather know than not. You know.
Okay.
It has shown me a long way to be educated. I mean, learned in who I am. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm saying we needed to stay, you know, aboriginal and do away with all the derivatives that, since we got control of it, so we're going to use it. You know, I'm not going to keep calling my brother a nigga just because I got the fiduciary document to back him. You know, it's not cool though all the time.
Your brother never was a nigger, so So, but we were Americans, though. According to the dictionary, we were. Yeah. We were the Americans who were here previously. Justice Akil?
That's a hybrid that wrote the Henry Campbell Black Law Dictionary. That's still a hybrid.
We wrote it. Henry Campbell Black is a Moor. Hybrids didn't even have names. So here's the thing. For the sake of brevity, for the sake of brevity, we've already. Did you see Grand Sheik on House of Reawakening Minds this past Friday?
Yeah, I watched him and Rob Higgs.
Okay,
and
so
still have to understand more about this Justin, how you say it again?
You said that you have to have more of an understanding. You have to get more of an understanding of it.
I just need to listen to it again. You know,
I would suggest that. That would be a suggestion that I would make. It's just listen to it again because in reality, what I'm hearing in your voice is a little bit of fear. Honestly, that's what I'm hearing. It may or may not be that for you, but that's what I'm hearing.
I say that it's more maybe a lack of understanding than fear, because I don't need to fear no man, you know.
Okay, Islam. We'll go with that. We'll go with lack of that. By your own word.
Yeah, because
Islam.
Believe me, I'm here to learn. That's why I have to speak out until I'm, that way I can be corrected by the matrix.
Islam.
You know, we learn from the mom.
Islam.
We learn from the mother. So.
And just know that we are fearless. We are without fear on any words, because it is our word that makes any word a word in the first place. We are the law. So we're gonna continue to go with that, and as you gain a better understanding of that, and I'm just using your words, as you gain a better understanding of it, you will see that it, at any point on the timeline, we've called ourselves many different appellations as a people, and we were right every time. No matter what we called ourselves, we were right every time because we're the law. So having stated that, thank you for being agreeable to go ahead and take a second look at that. Take another look at it and see, and that way we can have a dialogue where, your concerns can be further expanded on if you still have them after you take a second look at that. Okay. Yeah. Islam. Okay. So Justice Empress Angel, I yield the floor to you.
Islam. I just put up on the screen, I hope people can see this, but this is what I was reading to you earlier, Empress Light, and I just highlighted what is stated here.
Yeah.
U.S. was born into bankruptcy. So when you understand what that means and you know what bankruptcy is really about, that means they never had anything. Yeah. So they never had any value. They never had any credit. They never owned anything.
And
so
we stay on task. We want to make sure we stay right on what we're doing. So that because the document is important. People came, the Moors came here for this particular demonstration. We're here now, so let's go with it. Let's definitely go with it.
I'm glad you let your special needs Moor recite for you tonight, Pauline.
Just a moment.
Angel Bay of Special.
Go ahead, Empress.
Okay, so here I was. To prepare the domicile entitlement prepaid affidavit, fill in all information in Part A of the affidavit. Part A must then be executed by the fiduciary and the domicile public works. Use for special domiciling types. In addition to use for the elite, and it had basic here, and I changed that to basic to elite. Section 8, prepaid voucher program. This form must also be used for the following: special domiciling types, which are voucher program varieties. For special needs, see 24 CFR Part 982, Subpart M. And we looked that up, and it was understood that it was just the very long explanatory statement of this whole program, and essentially because we are doing this, it's automatically by virtue going to be upgraded, though we do need to go back and rewrite that. It will be done, but so the magic is already done, and it's being upgraded now. Islam. So single room area in domicile, domiciling, congregate domiciling, group home, shared domiciling, and manufactured home, rental by clan, tribe, pride, and all associated national groups that agrees for usage the manufactured home and space. When this form is used for a special domiciling type, the special domiciling type shall be specified in Part A of the domiciling entitlement prepaid affidavit as follows. This domicile entitlement prepaid affidavit is used for the following special domiciling type in the Domicile and National Development Regulations for Section 8 Voucher Program. Insert name of special domiciling type. However, this form may not be used for the following special domiciling type. That needs to be added. Okay, let me just read it. Manufactured home space rental by a clan, tribe, pride, and all associated national groups that owns the manufactured home and special uses agreement for only the space. Cooperative domiciling, home ownership option with the Section 8Y, which probably means year. The main regulation for this program is Article 1, Section 8, Article 6, Section 1 of the Constitution for America, Article 5, Section 6, Section 1 of 1836 Treaty for Peace and Friendship. So it should say this form may and get rid of not. So, because we can use this form for anything. Okay. So, how to fill in Part A. Section by section instructions. Section 2, heir/tenant. Enter full appellation for heir or name of heir/tenant. Section 3, affidavit dwelling location. Enter all information associated with the dwelling location/address. Section 4, clan, tribe, pride members. Enter appellations for all heirs or names of heirs, tenants for all domicile work program approved, clan, tribe, pride, and all associated national group members, especially if any such people are a live-in aids. People are approved by the Public Work Domicile Program to dwell in the location to provide supportive work for a clan, tribe, pride, and all associated national group members who are people with disabilities. The initial usage agreement. Enter first date and last date of initial usage usage agreement. The initial usage agreement must be for at least 1 year. However, the Public Domicile Work Program may provide a shorter initial usage agreement if the Public Domicile Works Program determines that shorter usage agreements would improve domiciling opportunities for the heir tenant, and shorter term is the prevailing local market practice. Section 6. Initial prepayment to owner. Enter the amount of money prepayment to owner during the initial usage agreement. The public domicile work program must determine that the prepayment to the owner is reasonable and in comparison to prepayment for other comparable unassigned locations. During the initial usage agreement, the owner may not raise the prepayment to the heir/tenant. 7. Domiciling assistance payment. Enter the initial amount of monthly domiciling assistance prepayment. Section 8. Utilities and appliances. The usage agreement and domiciling entitlement prepaid affidavit must specify what utilities and appliances are to be supplied by the owner and what utilities and appliances are to be supplied by the heir/tenant. Fill in Section 8 to show who is responsible to provide or prepayment for the utilities and appliances. This part here is highlighted because it's referring to a handbook, a development book. And there's that. And so.
Empress, were you all able to find that book just to kind of take a peek, or at least see if that book exists even?
No, I can't say that I did. I don't know if anybody else did, but I know I did.
I'm pretty sure it does exist. Maybe not saying domicile, national development, but I know there's a national development, housing, national development book, handbook. For those Moors who are interested in this program, please get that the PDF of that National Housing Development book and read through it, so that as you are filling out your documentation for your domicile, that you know what is going on in terms of all that has to do with this program that is being placed on the public record, okay? It is up to us to do our homework. We have always been the most well-informed nation at Earth, and that is actually going on nuclear with us here now. Okay, so please take a look at that book, and if anyone can put the link to that in the chat, please do so. Islam Empress Cynthia.
It was National Development of Housing. What? I didn't get all the whole title. National Development of Housing.
The original. What did it say? What did it say? Oh.
Did we lose it?
It said refer handbook. It said refer handbook. 7420.8. So it had said from Form HUD dash 52641, and then because Islam. Oh, and so because we changed HUD to read Domicile National Development. That's why it says that.
Empress, what's the name of the book? Or what did it say there initially?
Refer as REF Handbook 7420.8, but it says Form HUD 52641. So the numbers are still there. When we changed the from HUD, Housing Urban Development, to Domicile National Development, that's why that is appearing there in that manner.
What is the title of the booklet? Islam.
Okay, Empress, it's a form. There is a book. But here is, I'll put the link to the form, which is actually, I think it's the form that's on the screen right now.
Yeah, it probably is. Yeah. Let me change it back to what it said.
At the end of the video?
Don't change it, Empress. It needs to stay the same. In the chat, there's a link to that form, 52641.pdf.
Well, I'll change it back, but I'll add the numbers back. Oops.
Okay, and then let me put the HUD handbook, a link to that in the chat also, so that they can take a look at it. Here it is, right? Copy. I'll put the link to the book handbook in the chat as well, for those who want to get it.
Gratitude.
Okay, there you go. Empress Cynthia, can you pull that link from the chat? Are you able to pull the link from the chat?
Sorry, trying to get back. I have to investigate, so it may take me a little time. So, proceed. Islam.
Islam. It's called the HUD SFH handbook.
It's called the HUD SFH handbook.
HUD SFH handbook.
Yes, Single Family Housing Policy Handbook.
Single Family Housing Policy Handbook.
Okay.
That's the name of the book.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Islam. I yield, Empress.
Okay, Islam. There was an emperor who wanted to speak. Islam. Okay. All right. Domiciling, Part A. Part A of domiciling entitlement prepaid affidavit. So this is the this is our version of the reconstructed document to fill in at this point. So to prepay the affidavit, fill out the affidavit information in Part A. Contents of affidavit. This domicile entitlement prepaid affidavit has three parts. Part A, affidavit information. Part B, body of affidavit. And Part C, heir tenancy. And at first, there was, leery about the word tenancy, but we looked it up in Extensivis and came to an agreement that this word was good because we are stating it, so we are giving it our energy. And it comes with the word addendum, so it's heir tenancy addendum. And so 2, heir tenant. 3, dwelling location. 4, domicile. The following people and fiduciary may domicile in the dwelling. Other people may be added to the domicile dwelling with proper stated affidavits. Approval for the owner and public domicile works. And this had stated something completely different previous in stating that nobody can't be in your unit and or house if they don't have paperwork and da-da-da-da-da. And so this is where we are now, that language. And so initial usage agreement. Initial usage agreement begins. Initial agreement ends. Initial prepayment to owner. The initial prepayment to the owner is, during the initial usage agreement, the owner may not raise a prepayment to heir/tenant. Initial domiciling assistance payment.
So, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes?
Islam.
Islam.
If it's prepaid, have you already paid, and it's already paid for? I don't think some of those things is necessary. Yeah.
Can you restate that, please, so we can hear you? Because your
I'm saying,
feed was going in and out.
if it's prepaid, and you're using a trust to pay for these stuff, some of those things is not necessary. As I'm saying, that we can remove some of those stuff and remove them, or just restate them.
So there will be payments that will be prepaid. For example, you'll be paying in advance by the month in case you decide you want to move someplace else. You know, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I thought we was doing for just because as Moorish, I thought we were just doing it for ownership. So we will own the units that we are occupying, that we don't have to move up, that we can own.
Of course we will. Of course. She stated at the beginning that there are some Moors who are asleep and don't know their Moors, et cetera, et cetera. We're trying to leave room for them as well.
Okay.
In the programming, but yes, Moors. The properties are owned by the Moors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, this is language on paper for Alawa banking and accounting. So, so this is essentially is a receipt if you really want to look at it like that perspective, because this is just record keeping for us as Moors. And so, initial domiciling assistance prepayment, the domicile entitlement prepaid affidavit term commences on this day of the initial usage agreement at the beginning of the domicile entitlement prepaid affidavit term. The amount of domiciling assistance payment by the domicile works program to the owner is per month. The amount of monthly domiciling assistance prepayment by the Public Domicile Works Program to the owner is subject to change during the domicile entitlement prepaid affidavit term in accordance with domicile national development requirements. Oh, this one needs to be, this is what it looked like originally before it was changed, for anybody who had any questions on what it looked like. We had to edit that stuff. And this is the 8 utilities and appliances. The owner shall provide or prepay for utilities and appliances indicate by an O. The heir/tenant shall provide or prepay for utilities and appliances indicated below by a T. Unless otherwise specified below, the owner shall prepay for all utilities and appliances provided by the heir/tenant. And so they have their options for units like heating, cooking, water, etc., used by natural gas, bottled gas, oil, electric, coal, or other. And so,
may I interject, Embrace?
Yes.
Up there where it says that last part of that last sentence right there where it says the owner shall prepay for all utilities and appliances provided to the heir or tenant.
Okay.
Islam, I yield.
Gratitude. We are at the autographs part. Autograph/signature, public domiciling authority, print or type name of public domicile works, autograph signature, printer type name and title of nobility/signator, date, month, year, owner, print name of owner, autograph signature, and print or type name of title nobility/signature, month, date, year, payments to, name, mailing location. And so this is the explanatory statements of all that was just stated above. And so it just goes into extreme detail of, it's just like the fine print of a contract. So this is what this is right here. And so we went through it for the most part. And so this one, like right here, the owner is responsible for screening the clan, tribe, pride, and all associated national groups qualifications for usage agreement. The affidavit. The public domicile work program is not responsible for such screenings. So that's highlighted because for deciding, which or who rather would be responsible for the screening. Should it be the overarching state government, or should it be the domiciling works program, or should it be the owner?
Who was responsible on the other form? Because whoever was responsible on the other form, this form should mirror that one. Most likely it's going to be the owner. Well, the public domicile works program does the screening, and then the owner approves it, most likely.
Let's see. Also, it says the owner is responsible for the, and then it says the PHA has no liability or responsibility to the owner or other persons for the family's behavior or the family's conduct in Tennessee. Okay. That's what it previously stated.
Okay, so then the language should be similar to that.
Okay.
And that's going to be, owner responsibility. The public domicile works program is, it's just a subsidy. It does, but the responsibility is definitely the owner's responsibility to make sure that they because the owner has boots on the ground. So they have to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
So leaving it the way that it reads is then the way that it should be, because it states that right now.
Yeah.
The public domicile works program is not responsible. Okay.
Islam.
So I don't know. Islam. At the moment, I don't know how to unhighlight this, so, or do I? Let me try. Well, Empress Rosetta, she can assist me because she's highlighted it.
Just highlight it and then click the white at the bottom.
Yeah.
So highlight the highlight.
Okay.
And then go up to the highlight portion and click white.
Oh, no color. Okay. Gratitude. Learn something new every day. Okay. And so, maintenance, utilities, and other works. The owner must maintain the usage agreement, dwelling, and premises in accordance with domicile and quality agreement. B. The owner must provide all utilities needed to comply with domiciling quality agreement. C. If the owner does not maintain the domicile in accordance with domiciling quality agreement or fails to provide all utilities needed to comply with domiciling quality agreement, the public works domicile, I think this is, for such breach include recovery of overpayment, suspension of domiciling assistance, prepayment, renegotiating or other changes for domiciling assistance prepayments, discontinuance of domiciling assistance prepayments, and usage agreement changes for domiciling entitlement prepaid affidavit. The Public Work Domiciling Works Program uses discretion in providing assistance with usage agreements, remedies against the owner of domiciling quality agreements, breach for which the clan, tribe, pride, and all associated national groups is responsible and that is not caused by the owner. The Public Domicile Works Program shall not make any domiciling assistance prepayment if the domicile does not meet the domiciling quality agreement, unless the owner corrects the defect within the period specified by the Public Domicile Works Program and the Public Domicile Work Program verifies the correction. If the defect is life-threatening, the owner must correct the defect within no more than 24 hours. For other defects, the owner must correct the defect within the provided specified by the Public Works Domicile Program. The Public Domicile Works Program may inspect the dwelling and premises at such time as indicated in the Public Domicile Work Program determines necessary and in accordance with the usage agreement to ensure that the domicile is in accordance with the domiciling quality agreement. Islam, yes?
It should say affidavit.
Where?
It will be inspected as indicated in the Domicile Public Works Affidavit.
What so I'm at E right now. I just read the last one. Agreement.
Yeah,
affidavit. My bad. There we go.
Yeah. Or it could say agreement, but because before it said that the domiciliary works, well, HUD could inspect the home at any time, you know, basically any time they get ready, and I don't think that would be fair for someone just to show up and inspect it.
Yeah, you got to have notice. You got to give notice to the occupant or the tenant inside the apartment before you enter the unit, because that's a violation of their privacy. Well, just adding, but there's a law within the requirements of the the agreement between the public and the people. It's not there. It's not inside the document. It's yes.
So what is it up here? You said that. I'm trying to find where it was reading that they can come.
It's not in the document.
No, I changed the language, but in the original document, they can, you know, basically just show up at someone's door and inspect and come whenever they want.
Oh, okay.
So, if I may make a suggestion, when we're looking at documentation like this, we have to look at it from both sides, owner and tenant, because we will be both at some point. You know, it'll be Moors who will be tenants at some point, and it'll be Moors who will be owners. You know, so we have to look at it from both sides and give each side, you know, breathing room. Islam, are you?
Islam. So, the Public Domicile Works Program must notify the owner of any domiciling quality agreement defects shown by the inspection. G. The owner must provide all domiciling prepaid works as agreed. May exercise any available remedies, Public Domicile Works Program remedies in the usage agreement. Term of domicile entitlement prepaid affidavit. Relation to usage agreement. The term of the domicile entitlement prepaid affidavit begins on the first day of initial term of usage agreement and terminates on last day of the term of the usage agreement, including the initial usage agreement term and any extensions. B. When domicile entitlement prepaid affidavit expires, 1. The domicile entitlement prepaid affidavit expires automatically if the usage agreement is terminated by the owner or the heir tenant. 2. The Public Domicile Work Program may terminate program assistance for the clan, tribe, and all associated national groups for any grounds authorized in accordance with the Domicile National Development. If the Public Domicile Work Program discontinues program assistance for the clan, tribe, and all associated national groups, the Domicile Entitlement Prepaid Affidavit termination automatically. Terminates automatically. 3. If the clan, tribe, and all associated national group moves from the domicile entitlement prepaid affidavit terminates automatically. The domicile entitlement prepaid affidavit automatically terminates 180 calendar days after the last domiciling assistance payment to the owner. The Public Domicile Work Program may terminate the domicile entitlement prepaid affidavit if the Public Domicile Work Program determines, in accordance with Domicile National Development requirements, that available program funding is not sufficient to support continued assistance for clan, tribe, and all associated national groups in the program. 6. The domicile entitlement prepaid affidavit terminates automatically upon the death of a single-member household, including single-member household with a living aid. 7. The Public Domicile Work Program may terminate the domicile entitlement prepaid affidavit if the Public Domicile Work Program determines that the domicile does not provide adequate space in accordance with Domicile Quality Agreement because of an increase in clan, tribe, and all associated national group size, or change in the clan, tribe, and all associated national groups compensation. 8. If the clan, tribe, and all associated national group breaks up, the Public Domicile Work Program may terminate the domicile entitlement prepaid affidavit or may continue domiciling assistance payment on behalf of clan, tribe, and all associated national group members who remain in the domicile. The Public Domicile Work Program may terminate the domicile entitlement prepaid affidavit if the Public Domicile Work Program determines that the domicile does not meet all requirements of the domiciling quality agreement, or determines that the owner has otherwise breached the domicile entitlement prepaid affidavit. 5. Provisions and payments for utilities and appliances. A. The usage agreement must specify what utilities are to be provided or prepaid by the owner or the heir/tenant. B. The usage agreement must specify what appliances are to be provided or prepaid by the owner or the heir/tenant. C. Part A of the domicile entitlement prepaid affidavit specifies what utilities and appliances are to be provided or prepaid by the owner or the heir/tenant. The usage agreement shall be consistent with the domicile entitlement prepaid affidavit. Islam, as I'm reading this, it occurred to me, is it possible that because this is government national works, could the owner be the government, state government, or even the Moorish federal government, and the heirs/tenants be like an organizational type thing where people can come if necessary for because we had stated that there's going to be need for not halfway houses, but when people coming out of the POW camps and they need a place to be intermediate from transitioning from the POW back to the outside life, could we use it would make sense to me that this would be for them as well.
That's a different program. That's a different program.
Oh.
This one is for single family homes, and I'm using those terms, but you know what I'm saying. These are for single clan homes, as just straight out and out single clan homes. Yeah. Okay. That other halfway house piece where there's assisted living programs and things like that, that's a different program. And we'll look at that. We will definitely look at that.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Thank you for thinking about
prepayment to owner. Of course.
We need to keep them in mind, always.
Yes. 6. Prepayment to owner, reasonable payments. During the domicile entitlement prepaid affidavit term, the prepayment to owner may at no time exceed the reasonable payment for the domicile usage agreement as most recently determined or redetermined by the Public Domicile Work Program in accordance with domicile national development requirements. B. The Public Domicile Work Program must determine whether the prepayment to owner is reasonable in comparison to rent for, I think we're supposed to change that word rent to usage something. What was the word we used?
You can leave it at rent for now, Empress.
Oh, I put payment.
Okay.
Occupied on. Islam? Or you can say occupied on. You can say occupied on, or you can leave it as rent to own.
Oh. Prepayment to, oh, that's right. That's right. This part is that part right there. Okay. But yes, we have it in the title, prepayment to own, reasonable payments. So, the public, I'll start over. The Public Domicile Work Program must determine whether the prepayment to the owner is reasonable in comparison to prepayment for other comparable unassigned domiciles. To make this determination, the Public Domicile Works Program must consider the location, quality, size, domicile type, and age of domicile, and 2. Any amenities, domiciling services, maintenance, and utilities provided and prepaid by the owner. The Public Domiciling Works Program must redetermine the reasonable rent, I guess I should, or prepayment. reasonable repayment when required in accordance with the domicile national development requirements. The Public Domicile Works Program may predetermine the reasonable. Go again. I might as well just do the. I'm not as fancy as Rosetta Stone. Prepayment at any time. During the domicile entitlement prepaid affidavit term, the prepayment to owner may not exceed charged by the owner for comparable unassigned domiciles in the premises. Someone saying something? Islam? Oh, okay. The owner must give the public domicile. Oh, okay. The public must give the Public Domicile Work Program any information requested by the Public Domicile Work Program on rent. So we're changing that. Prepayment charged by the owner for other domiciles in the premises or else.
Okay. Empress, do you want to take find a stopping point and then we'll pick this up at the next meeting? Or
Sure,
do you want to go ahead and go through it today?
This is number 7, so I mean we can stop there or we can read 7 and then stop because 7's a good number.
It's up to you.
Well, we can take a pause for this today.
Whatever. Okay.
That's fine.
I think it's really important that those who desire domiciles, your input is necessary, 100% necessary. This is the time to speak about these programs because once when we roll the programs out, and they're being rolled out right now, even as we speak them, we want to make sure that everyone is comfortable with the programs and that things are working from the owner perspective, because we are the owners, and also from the tenant or heir perspective. In some cases, you may have people who are not from here domiciling in your domicile. So in the domicile that you own, rather. So, we want to take a look at it from from all sides.
Yes, Islam. So I will save, and then I will put the this edited version and upload it into the chat for anybody who wants to. Islam.
Could you also put your email information that we can do edit it and send it back to you? Also, so we can keep one document instead of having different documents. Anybody here, we can edit it and send it back to you, and you can look over some of them and make your job more easier.
Well, yes. So today's Thursday. So we'll reconvene on Sunday. So when it comes to reading this, you can make your marks on your copy, and then guide me to where you have feeling that there's an edit to be done, and we can edit it at that time. So that's easier.
Okay.
Is it Empress, are you okay with emailing it to everyone so that they can be looking over it while we wait for the next meeting?
Oh, I said I was gonna put the file in the chat.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Please do. Please do.
Islam, could we also meet before Sunday or something? Before Sunday to that we can have a little group meeting that we can try to rotate as a group, like a Saturday or something. If anyone is interested in it.
Were you at the meeting they had this past Monday or Tuesday with regard to this document?
Yes, please.
Okay. That's up to you all. That's up to you all.
Oh, you mean having a group meeting?
Yes, yes. I was thinking about that, if it's okay. It's for Saturday or something. Maybe 2 hours.
Yeah. Oh, snap. That's what I did. Shoot. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm going to put it here. And then, there we go.
Islam Empress Angel.
Yes.
This is Nabi. I tried to attend the meeting. I know we were having some technical difficulties, but I would like to review and assist in a couple of other things that I want to bring up. Will we be addressing the family self-sufficiency part of that program with this, or should that be something separate?
Okay.
Empress, what do you mean by family self-sufficiency?
Okay, so HUD has a program that also assists with purchasing a home where the vouchers will pay for up to 15 years of payments towards you owning that property as well. And then there's another program with them that assists with first and last, like deposits and things.
So each one of those is a separate program. We need to look at all of them, Empress Nabi. Thank you so much for bringing that up because we didn't even know that one. I didn't know that existed. We need to look at it. We need to look at that. Empress Nabi, can you put a link to the program in the chat so that more, because again, every more that's on these calls, we need all eyes on the documentations, the paperwork, the programs, and everything, because these are your programs. These are our programs. We're all rolling these out together so that our land is what it should be. So please take the time to look at them. Empress Nabi, because I don't know the name of that program that you're talking about.
It's called Family Self-Sufficiency Program. I'm traveling right now, and as soon as I can get to my destination, I will find the link and put it in, or I will email it.
Okay.
And go.
Can someone Google that Family Self-Sufficiency Program and put a link to it in the chat?
There are also other ones called Section 3 as well that offers funding for building.
Empress Nabi, you definitely need to be, because you're a resource. You need to be in the meeting.
I tried, but it was having technical difficulties, and I had another meeting.
Okay, I think Empress Crystal put something in the chat there. Is that the program, Empress? We're not, okay. Empress Karima, we can look at that Indian housing, but we're not Indian, so we tend to, pretty much, there may be something we can pull from it, but yeah.
Yes. This is it, and this is it. There's additional programs as well that are attached to these, and the Indian housing as well.
Okay.
Islam.
So more. take a look at it, because we're actually looking at these programs from the other side. And when I say the other side, when we first put these programs out here, there was a side to the program that the nobility used, that the government used in order for the nobility to have what they have. And then, that program got turned upside down, and it became something for those who are disadvantaged and et cetera. But we have to put it back in its proper place. So what we'll do is we'll call this a stopping point here, or an adjournment point, and we will meet again on Sunday so that we can finish this documentation, this presentment. Is that okay with everyone?
It's good with me. Did everyone get the able to get the document?
Good for me.
Islam, yeah, I got it, Empress.
Okay, very good.
Islam? Can
yes,
everyone hear
Islam.
me? Okay, Islam,
Yes.
Queen Bay, Virginia territory. Empress Rosetta, Empress Angel, are those the emails that I see there? Are those emails that you check regularly? So I'll be able to reach out and communicate to you both?
Yes, the ones that we corresponded with the group that did the initial meeting. Yes, your email was there. Were you able to get the document?
I was able to get the link that you put in the chat. My question is the email addresses that you signed into free conference call with today on this meeting that we're on right now. Are they good email addresses?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, because I was kicked out of the last meeting and I wasn't able to get back in. Yeah. And so there was no way to communicate because you didn't have my information, I didn't have yours. So that's why I'm asking the question now. Okay? Islam.
Oh, okay. Islam.
And may I say something, please, about the communications, Morris, please?
Yes.
If something happens and there's a meeting and someone gets booted out by the platform, please do not take that personally. That is not us at each other, okay? We have to, and I'm saying this in general because I actually meant to say this a couple of weeks back. Know that, there was an effort to keep us bickering and against and apart and so on and so forth, but that's not us. That's not this meeting. We don't have that energy going on here. So let's give each other as much leeway and room and the benefit of the doubt in terms of, and it's not even the benefit of the doubt, it's the opposite of that, in that everyone's intentions are good because they are. We love each other. We're going to get through these processes and things together. And I can say that I appreciate each and every one in these congressional assemblies because we've not had the bickering and the going back and forth and things like that. Our ancestors have kept energy clean and clear, and I just want to thank everyone for that because, sometimes we look out and we see where it's that may not be the case in some other areas, Moorish areas. But in this particular congressional assembly, the energy's been great between us all. And, if the platform does something crazy, it's not done from us, it's done from the platform. But we all give each other the benefit. Okay. So we love each other. This is an awesome, energetic group, energetically, and we're just excited that it's been that way consistently. So, with that being stated, is there any other wisdom, remedy, anything of that nature that we can? Islam.
When we are on meetings and and we have people interacting. Like for how many years that we was on this meeting, and we have the same energy keep on interacting the meeting. It's good when God created things. We all have a God of witness. We need a witness. I heard, whatever you call them, Herbert, to witness our creations. So when we have people on the line listening and trying to interrupt, just then, bear witness to God's creating their affidavits.
Oh yeah.
So they're there to bear witness. We cannot look at them as negative people. We cannot look at them as God taking their negativity and make it positive, and look at those people as witnesses, because that's what they are for. They was here for many years witnessing and trying to interrupt. And that's what they did to all people that all tried to intervene and cause disturbance and try to disrupt the congregation that we are having, so they can steal our ideas and make it theirs. How many years this has been going on? We have to change the outcome, and sometimes we gotta let them be, because they are there, as we said, to witness, to bear witness. Islam, are you?
Islam. Yes, we reign indeed, and we're going to continue doing what we're doing. Islam. With that being stated, if there's no further wisdom at this time for this particular Congressional Assembly, we will meet again on Thursday at 7.
You're winding up your bullshit call, Pauline? You're winding up your bullshit call for the night?
Just one moment.
Nothing, none of your shit works.
Witness.
So yes, so we will meet again on Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Peace and grand rising to the sovereign, original, indigenous, natural, divine heirs. Islam.
Islam. Peace and grand rising.
Yes.
Peace and love.
Islam.
Peace and love. Peace and love.